Hello and welcome to Back Paddock. Today we're going to look at how to turn the force sync on and off on your mobile device. So this can be used when you're out in field and have no reception but still need to access your client files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the home screen of Back Paddock Mobile. We're going to touch the burger menu in the top right corner. We're going to go to Advanced User down the bottom and touch on that. Oops, sorry. And then we're going to go to Force Sync on or off down the bottom. So at the moment my force sync is turned on. That's the default setting. I want to touch that off by touching this icon here and touch done to confirm. Now you will see a notification on screen. You do need to read this one. So this is telling you what will happen if you choose to disable this. Please take your time to read this and touch accept when you're ready. Okay, so now if I touch Farm Management to access my files, you'll see that I don't have a corner post list. I only have access to my downloaded files already. So if I touch on my Firecracker file, it'll jump straight into the file with no sync processes. Now what this does mean is that you do not have sync active on this device anymore. So if you were going to enter some data, you would need to manually sync these changes before and after use. So if I go back to my burger menu, I can touch on Sync Open File Now, which will activate a quick sync of that file. So this is something that you could do, for example, after you created a recommendation when you're back in service. But I'll also work through some of my suggested sync processes if you have disabled Force Sync. So I'm going to pause that while it goes through. Excellent. So we're back at our client file now. I'm going to touch on back to home. Okay, so if you are using Force Sync, then your file is manually or automatically syncing before and after you use it. If you have disabled that, that means that you are now in control of your client data. So you will need to do those sync processes yourself, or you do risk losing data if something happens to your device. So your iPad gets run over, for example. So if we touch on Farm Management and jump into the file, you can, as I've just showed, use the Sync Open File Now icon up the top here to sync that data. Touching back over here, you can also use this quick sync icon to sync your data. If we go back to the home screen, so burger menu, back to home, the other thing that you can do to sync multiple client files at once is touch on the burger menu. And now we are in the advanced user list at the moment, so we're going to collapse that advanced user list and we're going to touch on Full Sync Farm Management. Now this option is going to give us the choice of which files we want to sync. So if I click on this icon in the top left, everything is ticked. If I deselect that, everything is unticked. If I wanted to tick a few, I could tick on a few and then touch done to sync those 3 files. Now I will just deselect for now. So now let's say you have finished your offline work and you're ready to turn this sync option back on again. So we want to go back to our device automatically syncing our changes. I'm going to touch the burger menu in the top right hand corner. I'm going to touch on advanced user and I'm going to touch force sync on or off, and I'm going to turn force sync on or off back on and then touch done. Okay, now that force sync on is our recommended setting. It is the one that's going to protect your data because it is storing it on another device. It's storing it in your own cloud for you. So if you do choose to deactivate that, just remember that you are in control of your own sync processes. I've shown you a few options on how to do that, and the recommendation is that you sync each client file's data before and after use. If you're sharing your app or your client file with any other users, that is particularly important to make sure that the file you're accessing is always the latest one, and any information that you're sharing with somebody else is also the latest information. So you do need to sync each client file before and after you use it every time. Have a great day. Bye.